Are we going to see the chat? How do you see the chat? Okay.
It comes through on YouTube, but you kind of have to monitor the YouTube page.
It doesn't connect to Zoom. I saw somebody do something in the chat where it had Twitch and Facebook chats simultaneously. And you could see both.
Hello, everybody. I just love this delay they give you when you're trying to monitor right away the stream. It makes it a little more complicated, you know what I mean? Good morning. Hello, Daniel Myer, live from Leipzig, Germany.
Good evening, Daniel.
We've got Dre from live from Space Capsule, Zombie Dre live from space. I'm here with the lovely Rihanna in Los Angeles.
Hey, Rihanna.
Daniel, how are you doing over there?
I'm lonely, and today I'm actually also injured because
Holy smokes!
I drank and drive, which is fucking stupid. Don't ever do that. I mean, I drove my bike, so but it's the same shit. Yeah.
So what, did you land on your face or something?
I basically I landed on my face and on my hands. This hand, all the knuckles.
Oh, wow. I hate that. We call that road rash, right?
Yeah, this actually hurts me in the face, and I have this nice blue eye here. It's all swollen up.
Oh no, you got a black eye too. Wow.
Yeah. So it's not pretty, but I will survive, I guess.
And so, because of the whole coronavirus thing, it's not like you want to just run to the hospital.
Exactly, because I read and heard that a lot of people are catching actually the virus in the hospital. So I decided to wait till Monday to go to the doctor first thing in the morning.
Wow, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I can't go to my clinic. My clinic is closed.
The what?
I saw you last night briefly. We checked and did a test, and you look like an amazing place, eating an amazing meal with your friends and
I was
running mornings, right?
Exactly. I was for the first time out with friends after 8 weeks now, I think, or even more, 7 or 8 weeks, and we they have a nice house a little further away, Ronny and Moitza. And Boris from Krankstabi was also there, but when you called, he already left. So I was waiting actually for the call there because I didn't want to like get you when I was on the bike back home, on the bike ride back home. So it would have been smarter to stay with them because they have, like I said, a nice house. They have a guest room, but I wanted to go home to talk to my girlfriend, and shit happens.
It looked like a beautiful setting. I mean, I was telling Rihanna, wow, it looked like you guys really know how to have a meal. It looked like
Moitza is really good. She's a really good chef. She knows how to prepare food. She's really good.
Yeah, it looked like you had a whole bunch of food.
Oh yeah, it was a mix of. She's from the Baltic area, or not Baltic, Balkan area. I think it's either Croatia or Serbia. So she knows how to prepare all these nice dishes that I like. You know, she made a very good Greek salad. She made she had 4 different salads, and then we had some sausages also. It was good.
But you also looked like you had some good wine too. I saw the bottles were nice looking.
That's the problem. I brought 7 bottles of wine, and I think I drank them all.
Wow, yeah, I'm a lightweight. I swear I can have 1 glass of wine and I'm wasted.
Oh, likewise.
I don't know what it is about wine. You get used to drinking wine, so you can drink more after a while.
Well, I usually drink at home. I don't drink at home when I'm by myself, but lately I was just bored and I couldn't sleep, so I drank a couple of glasses, maybe even 3 glasses one day. And when I'm with my girlfriend, we cook and drink. That's our thing. I mean, not like extensively, but she's Russian, so we like to drink, but not like I said. Sometimes we don't drink, sometimes we do. But yesterday was just stupid. It was just really stupid.
Well, at least you had some good before stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so your girlfriend is she in Russia?
Yeah, she's in Moscow, unfortunately.
So they're locked in there too, right? There's no traveling across borders at this time, right?
Yeah, they like all the borders here are closed, and Russia is also closed up. And I think they are 1 month behind everything. So they will actually be. She will be there for probably till September or something like that, which really sucks.
So Leipzig's a pretty social town in the sense that you can walk around and do everything. You must be a huge difference there with people staying at home or people going out.
Well, they opened everything, not everything, but they opened most of the things, like shops under 800 square meters. They opened it 2 weeks ago, and now you are allowed to meet people that are in 2 households. So I think before only 2 people were allowed to be on the street together. Now it's 4. But when you go to the park, you see lots of people just hanging out. You know, they don't fucking give a shit.
It's the same here. Like everyone's hiking and exercising and walking around, and the beaches are crowded, but you know, everything else is closed. So there's no shows over there, right? Nobody's putting on events of any kind.
Everything is hold off until first. I mean, they say till the end of August, but I'm pretty sure we'll extend it till at least the end of the year. Which really, it sucks.
Mara Luna and Amphi and WGT and all those events, right?
Yeah,
it's all kind.
He just announced that WGT was officially canceled for now.
Yeah. I don't know why they waited so long. It's really strange.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like Mara Luna canceled before WGT. But
Yeah, they did. They canceled. They canceled like 3 weeks ago, and Mara Luna is actually 2 months after BGT. WGT. So
so weird.
Really.
Well, it's kind of like the Ministry tour. They haven't announced that they're canceled, but I think people are just want to hang on with like hope.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think it's way too early to start thinking about anything. And can you imagine being like
when is that planned?
Can you imagine being amongst the first bands that get put out, and it's like, okay, we're going to try put you guys out. We're going to have limited admission. We're going to keep everybody. We're going to have stanchions.
Yeah, it's fucking
everybody.
crazy.
They're going to be 50 feet away from the stage, and they're going to be 6 feet apart, and they're only going to let in 400 people on a 1,000 seat venue. You guys down?
That's insane.
Nope. No vaccine. Hey.
I wonder how many people will go for it. How about people let us know in the
comments? I wouldn't go.
Would go for something like that.
Yeah.
Let's say in the summertime.
Now, are you going to do any virtual shows? Are you set up for that?
I have a friend that asked me. He put on a show for another band, and he asked me if I want to do it, but I'm actually not inspired at all to do anything. I'm not motivated. I'm actually depressed. I think that's why I'm drinking so much. I miss my girlfriend. It's really insane. I mean,
so I wanted to talk to you today is because I wanted to help inspire you and cheer you up. You're a great guy. We toured together and enjoyed many times together. And
oh yeah.
I think that camaraderie sometimes and just being there for one another is important. So
yes.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. It's good to talk.
Yeah.
And let's see where we're all at. Don't feel bad because I've spoken to a number of people, including, I won't even bring up names, but one person that's a pretty prominent writer yesterday.
Yeah, super prolific guy.
Super prolific, prominent person, that we all know. And he said the exact same thing to me, and that he hasn't been in a studio all year.
Yeah.
And that music's like kind of like evading. Like, in other words, you just don't even, you sit in front of your gear and it's like, I don't have anything to say. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's the thoughts of other things are overwhelming.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, okay, so get past that point and to get to be creative again. That's the goal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, for the first few weeks, I just like worked on old demos and just cleaned up my folders, you know, because I have so many demos. So just cleaned up everything, deleted what was not good enough. Yeah. So I just try to be productive, even though it was not very how do I say? It was not very artistic. It was more like a I just worked like a robot, you know.
organize the files.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's a good thing to do as well.
Yeah.
Let's go back in the story. I used to love when we were on tour, Daniel. I'd talk to you about your beginnings and your roots growing up, and you know, a lot of people maybe don't know that you grew up on the eastern side of Germany before the wall came down, and that always interested me in our discussions how things were perceived and everything, and basically also how you eventually got into electronic music, like how accessible it was to actually see yourself as an electronic musician. Did that happen while you were still in that era of your life, or did that not happen? When did that come about?
It actually happened after we moved to West Germany. In East Germany, I just collected music on tapes, recorded it from radio, from West German radio. I bought my first Depeche Mode tape when we were in Budapest with my parents. It was some great reward, but that was the thing is stuff like that, and Clark and maybe New Order was like the most obscure stuff you could get. I never heard of like Front 242, Skinny Puppy, or like that before I moved to West Germany. But when I moved, I went to record stores. The thing is, when we moved, it was in '88. It was 18 months before the wall came down, and you got a little pocket money from the West German government, and it was like 100 Deutschmarks or something like that. So I spent everything on records back then, of course. But I didn't even have a record player. I just was happy to finally be able to buy stuff, you know.
Did you have access to electronics over there in any way? Did you ever see?
Not me. No, I mean, I was 15. I was too young. I was actually I was singing in a choir in school, and when I was 14, I applied in Leipzig for the National Ballet. So I went to ballet, and I had a scholarship. But when my parents applied to move to West Germany, they kicked me off the school. So my first basic musical training was at the ballet school. They taught us some harmonies, you know, and stuff like that. So, but I never had access to any electronic gear. There was one band in East Germany that was very, very interesting. They called AG Geiger. I don't know if you heard of them.
I haven't heard.
I think the guys now, they run the label Raston Noton or Reston Noton. I don't know. Yeah, very, very good label. And they were doing really interesting stuff, but I wouldn't know how to do this, you know, because I never had access to any instruments. So when we moved to West Germany, I went to music shops. I played around with they didn't have any cool stuff. They had the Yamaha SY55 and stuff like that, you know. So not very. And back then, actually, analog gear was not very popular. It was Yeah, it was all basically FM synths and workstations that you could buy in shops. And then when we started Howjob, we actually bought. I bought my first analog synth, which I still have. It's the Juno 106.
Right on.
I love this. I love this thing.
It'll never
That was in '92. So in '92, I bought my first analog synth, and before that, I had the SY55 and some strange Yamaha drum computer thing. So all weird stuff.
What was the impetus to actually say one day, okay, today I'm buying my first piece of gear? What was your inspiration to do that? Did you hear
My parents bought it to me because my parents were tired of me banging on the furniture, so
Nice.
they bought me for the first Christmas in West Germany. They bought me a drum computer.
That's awesome.
So what was that?
It was a Yamaha. It was a toy, basically, a Yamaha thing with 8 pads,
Right on.
little plastic pads that you can. Yeah, it was a really strange thing, but it did a job. You know, it did its job.
Like a DVD.
I could program some beats. That was nice.
That's what's important, is that the first couple pieces of gear you like get the most out of it, and probably the more out of it then than anybody will have ever done now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I remember when I got my first synth, I think composed all of like Glass Houses on it, even though it didn't have a sequencer.
Yeah.
Just with delays. It was like the multi-move, just a 2
Nice.
oscillator thing, but super primitive. And but you know, God, you just love to hear the sound of anything at that point. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you started making music, and then was Howjob your first project that you actually started getting serious, or you started?
Yeah, that was my first project. I first started to work with Dejan. We really loved Metallica at the time, and Skinny Puppy. So it was a mix of those two worlds in the beginning, and then we met Björn, and he had actually the Emax2 and another thing, and I had a mixer when we first started, and Dejan had the Korg 01W, the workstation. So that was our only gear that we had. So we did basically our first album with only 4 pieces of gear, but it was enough. It was more than enough.
And what did you record it on?
Directly onto that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then we just send it to the mastering guy. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever back up those DATs?
Some, not all of it, but I still have most of it. Yeah. And actually, I actually need to go through all the DATs because we signed a strange deal with the record label that they will re-release all the old records on vinyl. I guess that, yeah.
The thing that
So
it's so surprising is that, you know, digital audio tape DATs don't hold up very well at all over time. And either it's that and the DAT player itself, both of them. Who has a working DAT player now? I think I have 3.
I do.
Does it work?
Yeah.
I think I have 3 that don't work.
I have brand new DATs too.
Wow.
It's kind of amazing. And my old DATs work and sound great too.
The amazing thing is that, you know, the old cassettes, if you recorded anything on 4-track Porta Studio or on anything on the cassette, man, those things hold up so well that it's just it's like you can still put it on and hear it the way it was kind of like playing back in the day.
Yeah. I think I tried out some of the DATs. Nice. And
oh, look at
some
that.
of the DATs. Some of the old tapes, they don't have anything on it anymore. Or the DAT player doesn't recognize it or something. It's really strange.
Yeah, my buddy gave me an old school Panasonic DAT, the old white one.
Nice.
He kept it in really good condition, so it works just fine for now. I also got a mini disc player from him too, if you want to get really old school.
That's cool. I loved mini disc when it first came out. I loved it.
Yeah, they were great for backing tracks. That's how we used it back in the day. pre-sequencer.
Shortly after, I guess that, I got introduced to you by way of you doing a remix for Download.
Yes, yes.
Was that under the name Newt, or was that under the name How Job, the first one?
That was under the name How Job. Yeah, I think that was one of our very first remixes we ever did. I mean, we did this remix trade with Romscats the year before, and then we split up with Björn, and then we actually bought gear just to do the remix. We didn't have anything. We just had the O1W and we had the Juno, but for the remix we bought the Emo Morpheus. I don't know if you know this one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
little rack.
Yeah, a little rack, and we bought the IS 3000, and we used only these for the remix, and it was the first piece of music we did with this new gear.
Oh, nice. Well, I was really impressed, I remember, and then you came back and you did a remix under the name Newt. Is that?
Yeah. Yes.
Was that a solo name?
There was a project with Daniel Myer from Format Hardware, also a guy who lived in Bielefeld, and he still lives in Bielefeld.
That was cool. I really enjoyed that. And then
me too.
Shortly thereafter, we found ourselves in Europe, in Utrecht, on the Spain tour, and we did a show together, and that's when we first met.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's because it's in the same club that Scotty Puppy played too. I think it's called Zine.
I don't remember anymore, but I was a little starstruck back then. I guess I was a little shy and quiet, and I was
I think you were also very rowdy that night too. I remember you were very like rowdy. Yeah, not with us, but with when you're on stage.
Yeah, I think at one point I really thought I was a rock star, and that was not good.
It was fun, and we enjoyed it. And then we didn't actually play together again for a while until the great 2014?
Oh, yeah.
What do they call the tour?
I versus Spy.
What?
I versus Spy.
I versus Spy, yeah. And I have to say that grouping of individuals was a fine grouping.
That was the best tour I ever did in my life, really. It was perfect. Everything was perfect.
It was also very, very, very enjoyable. I'm going to say, that was probably one of the best tours I was ever on, too. Now, was it Bill League that brought the humor, or was it that we were all just basically just decided on that tour I was going to have a good time?
Yeah, exactly. It was just perfect. Everything fit together. Everyone loved everyone, so it was just fun.
There was so much good history too between everyone, like not only just the bands but the crew. It's like everyone like knew each other. So that couldn't have been any better.
Yeah, that was really good.
So at one time you did live in the USA for a while, right, Daniel?
Yeah, in the early 2000s, I was obsessed with Seattle, and then I met my first wife on tour, and I tried to live in the States, but it was not for me, I think.
I think that's when we met. Was when you moved
in Seattle, yeah.
And I was just about to move to LA to go down to Kevin's house.
Yeah.
Like that. How long were you there for?
In Seattle?
Yeah.
It was a little over a year on and off. I think a little over a year. Yeah.
Yeah, because like, weren't you there? You were there for a while, and then didn't you leave and do shows, and then you would come back?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I remember that because I was getting wrapped up into like, oh my God, I'm moving to LA. I'm gonna move into Kevin Key's house, and this is totally surreal.
Yeah.
Now Daniel from How Job is here, and it's like, I'm techno people. Yeah, that was a crazy, weird year.
Was that how job that you were working on when you were in Seattle, or were you starting the solo stuff at that point?
I already started my solo stuff, and in Seattle I worked mostly with this band Nexus 6. They don't exist anymore, but it was guys that moved from New York to Seattle to work in the game industry, and they had this industrial project called Nexus 6, but it wasn't very successful, I guess. Nobody heard about them. So and I did some remixes for Cleopatra, and that's how
Everybody did.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah. It was the rule. If you were in an
that's how I survived my time in the States. Yeah.
So what was the thing that said that Seattle wasn't for you? Was it based on culture, or was it weather?
No, the thing was that when I married that girl, she was from Grand Junction in Colorado,
right?
And she just fucked me up, and so I needed a break from the US. So in 2003, I moved back to Germany for good. Yeah.
You moved back to Leipzig?
Yeah, no, I was still living on and off in Bielefeld at the time. And in 2003, I decided to make a cut and move from Bielefeld to Leipzig, because I always had a great time here. It's kind of like home, because it was my hometown is like 80 kilometers from Leipzig. I lived in Leipzig before when I was at the ballet school, and I just loved the city. I had some friends here. I met another girl here, so it was a very easy thing to do, actually, and it was cheap. It was very cheap to live in Leipzig at that time.
Were you working for the ballet school as a dancer or musician?
Yeah, I was a dancer.
Unbelievable. How did we?
Yeah, but only for a very short time.
I would love to see you do a pirouette.
Yeah, me too. I can't do it anymore.
On next tour, we're together.
Yeah, right.
Do it together, all right? We'll write a dance.
It'll be in the contract.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's a new thing that you learn every day about somebody, and I love that about these chats.
I just read that you do the Last Puppy tour, something like that.
Oh, that's just a rumor.
That's a rumor. Good.
Nobody would like talk about booking anything under these climates.
Yeah.
That's just, it would be like just, it would be nuts. So yeah, and I don't know why that place.
Okay.
But you know, God, what to do in today's world? I mean, so you move back there to Germany, and then all of a sudden they make even a day, Daniel Myer Day.
Yeah, that was also one. There was also one reason to move here. They did the first
Good
Myer Day. I had my website back then called Planet Myer Day to have all my projects under one roof. So they decided to do this Planet Myer Day at the Mozpartei here in Leipzig. And
fantastic venue.
Yeah, I love this place.
So amazing.
Yeah.
What is that? To tell the people the history of that place, is that like a 14th century Gothic castle that used to be like it's not rebuilt, is it? Like
no, it's original. They just
restored.
Like, yeah, I think it was an old monastery for monks.
So amazing. First time I went in there, my jaw just dropped. So it's like it has like tunnels and little rooms that are made of stone, right? It was like stone.
Yeah, it's all made of stone. It's got like 5 different venues, fairly small. The biggest is not for shows. The biggest is just for discotheques. It holds 800 people. And the venue where you DJ'd at, it holds 400. Did you DJ there, or you were just a guest in the backstage? I don't remember. We were just there. We were just there.
We were there
in the backstage
that night to see you. I think you played.
Okay, yeah.
And you, but all,
Ruffles, whatever that band is.
what's the band with the Oompa Pa guy with the horns?
Big gay guy.
Who? It's a very large guy. Ruffles.
Rummelsnuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His trumpet was in the backstage area, and so I was playing it, and he came in and said, "What are you playing my horn?" Grabbed it out of my hand. Yeah, no, that was a fantastic venue. We also went there for a party another time on that same download tour, and I know I saw you playing in there one time, but I can't remember exactly when it was. But so that's where the Planet Myer Festival happens, is in that wonderful place?
It usually happens there, but we did it twice at a bigger venue. This year we did it at Werk 2, which holds 800, because I booked Front 242 as the headliner.
Wow.
So we needed a bigger place, and it was a fantastic event. These guys really fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, they all look really fun.
Yeah.
I liked all the lineups.
How is it that you choose who performs, or does somebody else choose who performs on Planet Myer?
Well, that's my part. I usually book only friends or people that I'm friends with, or people that I like the music, and so it's usually very diverse. It's a mix of noise and techno and EBM, I would say. So there's usually one very noisy act, one techno act, one EBM act, and then two bands in between that are a little more pop, I guess I would say. Yeah.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, that won't be going on this year, but is it still going to happen when we can all go out?
Yeah, it usually happens in January. So I hope in January they will allow things to happen again.
Yeah, really. I mean, seems crazy, but so in Leipzig, I really like that city too. You that's not the town you grew up in East Germany, though, is it?
No. The town I grew up in called Bernburg. It's in between. Halle and Magdeburg. Nobody knows Halle and Magdeburg, but it's like 80 kilometers from Leipzig. It's a small town. I think when I lived there, 40,000 people lived there, and now maybe 30,000. A lot of people moved away.
So what's it like there now? Could you ever see yourself going back to that area?
I just recently signed on to the Bernburg channel on Facebook just to see how it looks like now, and it's quite nice. But I couldn't live there. I'm going to marry my girlfriend after this shit, and we want to live by the seaside. I think I love Spain. I love the Costa Brava in Spain, and she loves the sea. So we probably move somewhere with a sea close by. Yeah.
I mean, I've only been to Barcelona that one time, and it's kind of reminded me of California in a lot of ways.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And there's this one area we were driving. We were there in October last year, and we were driving from that place towards. It's like 90 minutes away from Barcelona. The place there we were like it's called Playa Dado, and we drove along the coast, and some areas look exactly like California. Look exactly like like the Hollywood Hills, for example, or something like that. It's crazy. It's really very, 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 very similar. Yeah.
Felt very at home. And funny enough, Don Gordon from Numb, also Images in Vogue, recently moved to Malaga.
Okay.
Just nice. That's really south, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Numb? Remember Numb?
Yeah, of course. I love this Death on the Instrument Plan, or whatever it's called. That record is fantastic. Didn't he live in Asia for a while, or
he's been living in Vietnam for over 20 years, and him and Madeline Morris, the original singer of Mauve, have been together for all that time. And then basically, yeah,
Okay.
now they're moving to Spain.
Nice.
And I'm going to have a chat coming up with Don,
Cool.
checking in with him from that area. Actually, we have an idea to have the entire original Images in Vogue
That'd
Nice.
be-
on a chat.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, I think that would be very funny. But I could do one with Don as well on his own, just to talk about his life.
Now, was Don with you in 96 at that download show in Seattle? I could have sworn I met him at some point. It might have been with Bill.
Oh no, he would have been, I think by that time already living in Vietnam.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I met him back in the day, but it might have been with Decrypts or something weird.
I actually played a show with him in France. With, I think it was the first and only time I played with him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to get him active again. It seems like that now. I think he was a teacher for a while, and now he's decided that he's going to come back and do some music.
Yeah, he's got
That's
a new
cool.
record out.
Good.
Yeah, he's got a new.
Really good.
So you're going to move to Spain after all that, getting resettled in Germany, Planet Myer Day, and everything. You're going to just off and move to Spain.
Well, let's see. First, I want to get married, and then let's see. I actually, right before this shit started in March, I just signed on to a new job. Because I wanted to move away a little bit from the stage. I signed on to be a booking agent because I'm very well connected.
Wow.
And but the minute I started, the 1st of March, everything broke down.
Oh,
so
no.
now
Yeah, of course.
So now we are figuring out what to do. I mean, we have some ideas with drive-in kinos, drive-in movie theaters.
Right.
There are already people who are doing like gigs in so you drive in with your car and you can see a show, which is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah,
In
those
your car. Now there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my
So, but this is allowed, So
Yeah.
it's just a solution, and people are working hard to find solution to survive somehow in this business.
For sure. That's
I'm liking all the virtual shows have been really cool. Some of the production levels have been really, really good. Like the Terminus Festival that's happening right now. They're just doing that virtually. That's working out really well for them.
If I get my spark back, I will actually be part of this because I really like the guys at that festival. Really good people.
Isn't that through Calgary, Alberta?
Yeah, that's Calgary.
Yeah. Did you ever go there to perform in Canada?
I performed at that festival almost every year, except one year where I couldn't afford the flight or something like. Or no, I just took on a job. I sold jeans for a while.
Oh.
So this year that year I didn't go, but last year I was there, and I think I was there 5 or 6 years in a row. It's a really fun festival. It's a small club, Dickens, but it's a nice venue, and the people that organize everything, they are just fantastic.
How many days is it usually?
It's 3 days, I think. 3 or 4 days. I think that they start on Thursday with a pre-thing, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the main. Is the main event.
Question.
I think I invited them for the show. I think they came to Portland for the show in Portland, and you met them backstage at the show in Portland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Recon asked, what was the place that Download and Dead Voices on Air played at Wave Gothic Treffen? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It was
it Volkspalast maybe?
It was quite a large venue, but it's completely outside of like our show at that time too. So it was like a little bit like too big for what we were doing.
Okay.
It was. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Rich Dawson says, "Down here, you're like a Swiss Army knife of talent."
Hi, Rich.
What?
You're like a Swiss Army knife of talent.
I wish.
Agent, ballet dancer,
all the projects.
Yeah, well,
So
I can't drive. I can't drive for shit. So yeah.
are you
When are
still
we
going
getting
to
a new
focus
box?
on the are you still going to focus on the booking agent thing from to go to Spain? Like you're going to do that
Well,
from
the idea is to establish myself first with this. I started to work for the agency called Neuwerk. I don't know if you heard of them.
Okay.
They work with VMination and stuff like that, but I took on some techno acts because they want to expand a little. So I work with more the Aufnahme and Wiedergabe acts, like my act, Black Color, for example, and some other bands. So, but like I said, everything is down right now. But I will continue to do that, and we want to establish some events. So maybe I move to Hamburg first because they are based in Hamburg, and because it's also kind of close. It's also close to the sea, but not so nice as Spain, of course. But in the long run, I mean, I want to die actually by the seaside, but in a warmer climate. So
Right, yeah.
So in a few years, maybe in 5 or 6 years, we're gonna probably move to Spain. Yeah.
It's funny, I did that. I moved from Canada to LA, and then you know, there'll be some times where I'll be like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It gets a little too hot, like for us
It's
cold-blooded
crazy.
Canadians.
Yeah.
But so you also play in other bands like Covenant and
Yes.
other bands that are sort of like Swedish and so on like that. How does that come about?
It started when we toured with Haujab in '96 in Germany. We toured with two other bands. One of them was Steril, they're from Germany, and the other band was Covenant. They were our support acts. We were quite big back then until we released one album that just basically wiped us from the face of the earth. And we stayed friends with the guys. And in 2006, one of the guys, Klaas, there are three people, and one of the guys left the band. And Eskil asked me if I would fill in just for what was just like some Christmas shows. And it worked so well that they asked me to join the band. So I joined, and I worked with them for 8 years, then took a short break because I was a little frustrated because it didn't go anywhere for me. And I joined back again in 2016.
That's crazy. 8 years.
Yeah. Time's flying, man. What the hell?
Yeah. So I'm with the band for 14 years now. And
Wow.
Unbelievable.
it's crazy.
That's crazy.
And
I didn't realize so long, so quickly.
yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was like 4 years. Yeah, but
Yeah, no, it's 2006 I joined, went then with a short break, but it's overall it's 14 years.
So ongoing, we have How Job. How Job's still going, right?
Yeah, we should work on a new album, and but this time it's Dejan's turn to start. The last album I started, one before Dejan started, so we always take turns. Haujab is still going on. Architect is still going on. I have this project called Diebknecht, which is more techno. Then I have a few other techno projects. And Nude, we did a Nude show in January for Planet Maya Day, which was really, really good. Yeah, there's
Project you did as well.
The what?
any dots and loops? New dots and
Actually, we are thinking about doing another Dots and Dashes records because it's about time, I guess. Because drum and bass is getting at that point again where everything sounds the same. Everything sounds the same, so we need to do something about it.
Yep. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your DAW, your DAW of choice to work on these days?
Studio One from Presonus.
Wow, that's a new note. Dre, have you ever heard that one?
I've never used
Is
it.
that PC based?
No, it's Mac OS X based, and I just recently started to work with Bitwig. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I just started with myself.
Yeah,
It's made by
I
the guy
toured with
on live.
Nitsa app last year, and Bon from Nitsa app, he uses Bitwig and Ableton. So, and Bitwig look quite cool. So I will give it a try.
What is Bitwig?
It's kind of like Ableton, but better. That's what Bon tells.
Yeah, it's made by guys that used to work for Ableton, so it's got that kind of feel. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like a weird Ableton Live meets Pro Tools Logic kind of thing. If you look at the screen,
I'm gonna have to look into this. I have no knowledge of it. I'm glad you're bringing these things up.
I'm just learning it.
You are you just using Rewire to sync PreSonus and Bitwig, or what do you? How are you?
No, I work in either PreSonus or in Bitwig.
Okay.
But the goal is to. I will also try again Ableton. I tried 3 or 4 times, but it never did anything for me.
Same.
But I think for the techno productions, it's better to use Ableton. But I will try it with Bitwig first, and then maybe it works. Let's see.
I've always found that when people get used to working in on the compose page of Ableton and get used to working in this framework of how you scroll around and work in that environment more so than that mixer page with the loops, that it becomes a lot more practical getting your flow down. And, but there is some sort of weird thing about Ableton. I mean, I've never seen it as a thing that you use to complete a song. It's always to generate some parts or do some things, and then for me, I've always used it into Logic. But what is it that you like about PreSonus?
I used to work with Cubase, and the PreSonus guys were actually guys that came from Cubase. So the transition from Cubase to Studio One was very, very easy. But Studio One was very simple to use. It had I use it for, I don't know, a long time, 10 years or longer, and it had kind of like functions that Ableton has with the drag and drop. I think now Cubase has that too, but back then Cubase was very dated, and PreSonus was just something fresh. It was very easy, and I just looked for something like that, and it just clicked, you know.
Cubase has stepped up though, haven't they?
Recently? Yeah. I heard about it. Yeah.
Isn't that what Tom was using? Didn't Tom say he was using that?
Yeah, Tom said he really liked it the best, and then of course Omar Torres, also one of our buddies here. It won't leave it, and when I look and watch people show me their pros and cons of it, it does look really fantastic. The way that you can draw, and I think like the fades, the way that's for me that looks like the best part is the way you can draw. Not that you can't do that in Logic, but it just looks better in Cubase. So is that something you about Studio One? Is something about that ability to work with automation, or what is it?
Yeah, exactly. It was very simple back then. The thing is, they are very slow with updates, but that's why I will try Bitwig now. But I still work mostly in Studio One. I also work with Logic when I work with other bands. I produce Diary of Dreams, for example, and there I use Logic.
Is there any, do you dislike Logic for any reason?
No, I like it.
That'd be just fine.
Yeah, I'm just more used using Studio One. I'm quicker with the shortcuts and everything. So with Logic, I work only 4 times a year for a week or so. Right. So there's always a little learning curve, you know.
And they made us learn Logic when I was working at Guitar Center.
Nice.
Which was actually cool. They had a whole big 9-pound box of manuals and whatnot back in the day, and you had to be certified. Nowadays, like, go ahead, sell gear.
What about Pro Tools? You ever go into Scientology?
Never.
Oh no, son.
Never.
That's the first time I heard it referred to as Scientology.
I worked with it once for a project also with Diary of Dreams related. We went to a professional studio in Hamburg to record an album, and they used Pro Tools, but it crashed all the time. So it was fucking stupid. We were just wondering, why the fuck is this? It was a guy who won Grammys, you know, for recording vocals, and this program crashed all the fucking time. So we were just
back when it was
what?
hardware based. Was it hardware based back then? Remember, you had to
No,
buy.
it's not long ago. It's like maybe 12 years ago or something like that.
Oh, wow. So yeah, after they had switched up, their own.
Yeah. So it was just, we were just irritated, you know, because it's the best program for audio editing in the world, and then it just crashes all the time. But maybe it was just an accident, or it was just a bad day or something like that. I don't know. But I never gave it a try.
Even when it runs properly, it's great for editing like audio tracks. But if you want to do MIDI implementation, I can't believe how primitive all the MIDI implementation was on it. You know, it was like, it just seemed to be like, you know, people that are there seemingly don't care so much about MIDI.
Yeah, there was just too many buttons and knobs and everything. It's like looking at it always gave me a headache. Like I can see it right now, all the little buttons and knobs and everything. I was like, oh no, too much.
Rich Dawson says, check out Orca. I got Sean Booth into it. I don't know. Orca? Never heard of it. I know the whale Orca.
Is that a DAW? Yeah.
Is that a PC based thing, Rich, or whatever? Eric Peterson, hey Eric, says Logic Pro user here that has transitioned to Bitwig. The automation is endless. The negative is the annual $169 sub fee for updates. Post 12 months on top of the $400, I guess, purchase.
For Bitwig?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I didn't know that. I got it for free. I'm sorry.
Cakewalk for PC.
A&R will hook those guys up.
Cakewalk either. Cakewalk.
I never used it, I think. Never used Cakewalk.
Okay, so what about VSTs? Any VSTs you can't live without, like virtual synths?
Yeah, probably all the what's it called? Like the Diva, you know Diva?
Oh, the UHE.
Yeah, UHE. Yeah, I love I love all the synths they do.
They're fabulous.
I like some of the Arturia stuff. I actually bought it, but I didn't install it yet. I'm too lazy.
Do it. Those are some of my faves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job with all of their emulations. The Boot Club Music Easel, I can't believe how good that thing sounds.
And the Matrix Grail, it's basically an expander. So like that Holy Grail synth is like right there.
Okay.
Everybody
good,
wants an expander.
Okay.
Oberheim.
I will try it out.
Have you tried any of Steve Duda's stuff? Serum, Nerve?
I actually bought Serum just the other day because I saw some video and it sounded fantastic.
So good, yeah.
Is it a wavetable synth? What is the synthesis of Serum?
Kind of like it's capable, but it's kind of like a more expandable version of Massive. It's like kind of like a super massive. Automation is fabulous, and then Steve Duda is a great guy too, man. I love the Nerve. Have you ever played with the Nerve?
No. I just saw it at I think Cyrus showed it to me once in the studio, and it was really cool.
I think I put it on there because if I ever went to work over at Cyrus's, I insisted that he have Logic. I think that was the only time he ever used it, though. Doesn't he normally use Pro Tools as well, right, Cyrus?
I think yes, yeah.
Another one of those Scientologist guys.
What about gear-wise? I know you got a bunch of. What have you been digging on as far as hardware?
I use hardware actually only live on stage.
Oh,
and my favorite thing is the MPC live that you have also. I love this thing. It's just fantastic. I like the mentor from Maleko.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Big
I
up,
like the, what?
big up to Maleko.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Josh
I
Hawley,
like
Josh Ollie.
Davis.
very cool guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We speak
have
to
the-
he'll appear in one of these squares here.
Yeah, he was in our last meeting.
I just use some effects for live. Also, I have the Erica Synth Fusion box for delay and distortion.
Oh word.
That's cool.
Erica Sims are amazing. They're doing
I
great,
have the-
great work.
I have the Eventide space for
Fantastic.
reverb.
Probably
Yeah.
the best reverb pedal ever made.
Yes, yes. And I also use it as a plugin. It's a really good plugin also.
Is it available as a plugin?
As a plugin, it's called Black Hole.
Yeah, Black Hole.
Yeah, yeah, you use that all the time,
I
Kev.
use that on everything.
It's
love it.
This
fantastic.
has been my big secret here.
Oh, look at it. It's all faded out.
Ooh, what is this?
It is a Zoom multi-stomp,
Okay.
and it basically has like algorithms from like the Eventide, the Streumann effects pedals, pretty much anything you can think of. It
Okay.
does like emulations of all that stuff in there, and it's pretty good. And they're cheap. You can find these pretty cheap too.
Okay, I will look it up because I like the Streumann stuff, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
The delay is really good.
the big sky. It's like, well, some of those algorithms are in there, and it's
Oh,
and
that's nice.
you find them cheap too.
Okay, cool.
Electrodynamics says Falcom 2 is what I want to try. Is that a new synth? It's so funny. I can't keep up with all the synths.
Falcon is like a workstation. It's from UVI. It's a workstation. I have that also. Some techno producer told me it's fantastic, but I'm not convinced yet.
Anybody out there got experience with it?
I like that.
The guy who wrote it actually lives on a boat and travels the world. Well, sounds cool.
Good for him, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
maybe
be kind of fun.
dock outside your house in Spain,
Yeah.
and then we can book a tour that from there, and then all have fun together again.
Yeah.
Are you selling your Micro Freak?
Yes, I don't want to, but I need to sell all my gear because I don't play live, so I need money.
It's crazy. I thought you would. And you don't record with any of that stuff?
Nope.
Wow, that's so weird.
Did you get everything out of the Micro Freak that you felt you could, and then that's why you let it go, or you just really need money right now?
I just really need money. Yeah.
Is there how can people support you best? What do you got going? Bandcamp or what is it?
Bandcamp is the best option. I do one release a month now, and it pays basically the rent, which is good.
What's it under on Bandcamp? Daniel Myer?
It's
Bandcamp?
Daniel Myer Bandcamp. Yeah.
Everybody
I
go.
have one releases there.
Have you set up a reverb channel for the gear? You can do like an artist channel. You can say
I never tried this.
how job use gear if you want to buy it.
It's a site called reverb.com, and basically you can go on there and sell your equipment.
Okay.
Kind of like in a shop format.
I have to look it up here.
Yeah, I saw Chris Renner was selling a whole bunch of gear on there.
Okay.
And so yeah, like people that we may know may be already on there.
Yeah, I got that
Okay.
Zoom from there for like.
What'd you get from that?
I got that Zoom pedal. For,
Oh, you got it
Okay.
off-
Cool. I will check it out.
So any new synths on the market that you've seen that you'd want to try, or are you over it?
Me, I actually always wanted Dave Smith synth, but they're too expensive.
Yeah, the Pro 3.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. I think those are the best sounding synths on the market.
It's funny. I bought a Pro 2 and I was initially really excited about it, but then I didn't end up tracking it with anything. I thought that in the end it didn't really provide as, say for instance, as much as the Uhi Pro 2.
Yeah.
What it's called. I used that thing like 100 times more than the
Okay.
Smith version.
Did you try any of the Behringer stuff? Those clones?
Yeah, they were nice enough to send me the Pro One, the Pro One. Those are actually real nice. I mean, they're really nice and compact.
Okay.
They actually two, because back in the day, the Skinny Puppy formula was always two Pro Ones, and I've fooled around quite a bit on it, and they're really nice. I thank them for sending stuff too. They also sent the not the SH-101, the MS-20 clone, which pretty cool. Oh, and they also sent the Model D as well. They were super generous. One box arrived here one day.
Wow.
So, holy smokes, like Christmas time.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. Electrodynamic Wave says Dave Smith OB6 is pretty neat. I keep on hearing people say that their OB emulation is like off the hook.
I like that Hydra synth. That's been a pretty cool wavetable synth.
Yeah, my friend has it. I actually when I was in Russia last time, I tried the Lyra or Lyra.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This thing is fantastic. It's like a brain. It does things on its own, but the sound is just incredible.
Yeah, doesn't it look like an old white Oberheim?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This was really impressive, but and I wanted to get one, but they didn't have it in stock. They just had the model that they showed there, but they didn't want to give it away. So that's actually when I bought the Microfreak instead. But and it did a very good job for me for like half a year, but now I need to get rid of it. Yeah.
Favorite synth that you can't live without? You have to just pick one. You can only have this one synth. Which one would it be?
MS-20.
Oh yeah, MS-20.
Yeah, I used to have 4 in my career, I guess.
It's a common ground for many people to still love the MS-20 SQ10 sequencer. You can't really like beat like some of the beefiness of those. And you're talking the original one, right?
Yeah, the original one, because every one I had sounded different. Every MS-20 had its own filter. So true. Special thing, yeah.
Depended on the age of the synth too.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were one of the guys we envied back in the day that had the MS-20s. So I kept getting my head full of them thanks to Tom Ellard. He's like, oh, you need an SH-101 and an MS-20. And we just couldn't find them cheap anywhere back in the day.
They, in Vancouver too, you could not find them. No one sold them. They weren't in used shops. If you got one, you really had to find it. And, I think you should consider a complete fluke if you could find the MS-50. MS-50 was unobtainable. Somehow Bill got one. I don't know how much he paid for it, but the SQ10 and the MS-10 and MS-20, yeah, impossible to find. Eventually, I ended up being able to find them when people started getting rid of all their analog. When when the DX7 came out and the Mirage and stuff like that, everyone dumped it all, but they didn't dump the Korg stuff. So, but there was a short window there. I remember one guy said, that guy Andrew Bradbury said, "I've got a PS3200 for you. I'm going to drop it by." I said, "Oh yeah," and then of course it didn't show up, but I would have loved to try that thing. I saw one over at John Frusciante's house. It was like so gorgeous, and just like if you look at him now, like I remember seeing him in the shops back then and not really thinking, oh, those are like fabulous, but you see them now and they look like, God, how did I skip that over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to get an MS-20 since 89.
Thank you very much, Recon Official. Just said he just grabbed your whole Discog and Bandcamp, Daniel. He is going to post the link here for others to help out, and I will also post it here on the Patreon.
Cool, thank you.
So, did you ever sell a synth that's now worth like bucket loads of money for real cheap?
Yeah, the MS-20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my first MS-20 in '94, and I sold it in '95. I paid 500 Deutschmarks for it, and I sold it for 300. The next one I bought for 800. I sold it for 600 or something like that. And so everything, it went up constantly. And the last one I bought was in 2000, and I spent 1,500 or something like that on it.
Yeah.
Crazy expensive.
Behringer should send you some stuff.
Yeah, I'm not very good with getting free stuff, except for Bitwig.
So do you collect anything other than music? You have any odd collections?
I collect wine and birds. I like my girlfriend loves birds, so we have some. Wait, let me show you some cute little birdies.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
I like this one. That's my favorite.
Is that the one can you squeeze that one on the bottom?
No, you can't.
It looks like it though, doesn't it?
Yeah, like one of those.
Yeah, it does. No,
Now we all know what to get Daniel for Christmas presents, and if you're gonna send him a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not a big collector.
Dude, I'm so worried about. Go ahead. Sorry.
I started to read again after years. So now I'm collecting books that I used to own. I buy them again, and so it's getting more and more.
Favorite book?
Favorite book, Solaris by Stanislav Lem.
Nice. Well, I hope you get a chance to get to the hospital safely to get that face looked at. It looks like you could have like a bone bruise or something going on there.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, and it's pretty big swollen. So I will go first thing in the morning at 8 in the morning. I will go to the doctor.
If Rihanna was there, she would like have like a Q-tip out, and she would be like,
Yeah.
what's that stuff called? Neosporin. She would be putting Neosporin all over your face.
Okay.
Do you have anybody there to help you do that?
I'm all by myself.
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah, that's okay.
Rihanna, he needs help.
Quickly to Leipzig.
Well, Daniel, it's been a pleasure chatting with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us here on
Thank you for having me.
On the road soon.
on the
Yeah,
chat. Any last minute questions, pose them right now before we say good day. But seems like everybody is all very excited about MS-20s. Yeah, the new
Yes.
Subcon toy. Yeah, here it is, folks. Look, good.
Nice.
Other than that, thank you, Jeremy Dickens, Rich Dawson, C. Woodfield, Electrodynamic Waves for your questions. Thank you, Dre. You chilling down there today?
Yeah,
There's Rihanna.
it's all we can do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, always good to see Daniel.
always good to see you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Huge
Good
hugs
to
to
see
you.
you.
I hope some inspiration will come, and keep us
Yeah.
posted on that, all right?
Okay, I will. Thank you. Thank you
Hey,
so much.
well, say hey to Ronnie and the crew over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I will. Okay. Bye-bye. Good
All
night.
the best to you guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.